And you're on record. Right, it's Ayesha here from God FM, and I'm here today with Matt, a victim of targeting and hacking and stalking. Am I right?
Yeah, I think that's been in the past, though. I'm not sure why they stopped, but somehow, I think the last thing that happened was I prayed for them. The last time that they did something to me, I prayed for them while the cameras were rolling. You know, they got their cameras everywhere. And that might have actually been the reason, but I'll never be sure.
Oh, wow. So you are not a victim anymore. You're a victor over the gang stalkers and the targeting. Am I right?
Yeah, they stopped doing that. They never actually got into, never actually, stopped, any of my posts or anything for the whole run. You know, the whole time that I've been investigating the truth and the truth about God and everything, they haven't actually tried to stop me, but they have done a lot of horrible things to me before.
Oh, okay. So, when did it all stop for you?
I think it was a couple years ago when I went to the ER when I went in there so I could get, a blood test because my mom was worried about some of the, chemicals I was using to detox because I was into that before. I can't take that now because I realize my medications are, interfered by that. But they were helping me to detox. And so 2 police officers showed up because she called the police control. And they took me to, I just wanted to make sure that they were understanding that I was, complying so they didn't do anything worse to me. So I went into the ER and I went to this room where there were about 13 people in lab coats all standing there. I think they must have all been doctors, and they waited until I got to the bed, and I had my phone recording at the time. I was just for some extra protection or something like that, and they held me down, and then they cut my pants off, and they took my shirt off. And as they were holding me down, they had a little piece of clothing on my private parts that was left there. And then this doctor came and took a peek. I don't know what he was doing exactly, but maybe it was to get me a reaction. But I still don't understand why they needed a reaction from me. I said, "What the hell?" And I jumped, and and then they held me down again, and they gave me this IV in my left arm. I don't know what it was, but then they said they were the doctor ordered 500 milligrams of ketamine. So they gave me 500 milligrams of ketamine in my right arm, and then I had a K-hole, which is like a really bad reaction to ketamine. And they put me in this room, and I was tripping for like 3 hours. And then I heard someone say, if that recording was still on his phone, then we are effed. And then I prayed for them, and then they took me to a psych ward, and I was in the psych ward for 2 weeks. So that's what happened then.
What recording do you think they were talking about on the phone?
Well, I had my phone recording in my pocket before I went into the ER.
Oh, so you recorded them basically assaulting you?
Yeah.
Wow.
They deleted whatever's on the video that I had in my pocket. They deleted it.
They deleted it?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they stopped, because they felt maybe that things were getting a little bit too close.
Oh, yeah. I never thought of that.
As well, because if you realize that there are boundaries, I think, and if they cross them, then I think that they're going to get into trouble as well.
Well, the first weird thing that they did was I was in the hospital for like 30 days one time, and they gave me 12 different psychotropic drugs. They all had different colors, and I was not well. I was obviously not well on those medications. And they took me to this room, and they gave me an injection because they said that I needed medication. And I lay down on the bed, and I felt and heard what seemed like millions of hornets biting me. or seeing me. I don't know if they were what kind of invisible fake creatures they were, but I believe that was DARPA technology.
Oh, wow. It's a real honor to have an interview with you, Matt. Thank you. Must have been very traumatic and very frightening.
Yeah, they kept messing me with just various things, but I kept my faith and I got through it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I believe that your praying for them as well will definitely contribute. I found the more angry you get, the more they go at you.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to hold yourself together, actually, when you're under this attack, isn't it?
It is. It's really hard to communicate it to my family because they just think I'm nuts. You know, all the doctors, they know I'm not nuts. They just like to mess with me.
Well, I have come to the conclusion that, you know, we can't all be crazy. But I've also come to the conclusion that no one will ever do anything about it. So, it's basically, we're at the mercy of God. Otherwise, our lives are going to be a life of torture and torment and hacking, stalking, home invasions, raping.
I believe that things that happened to me were an example of the battle that we have, because it's not just a battle against them; it's a battle that's God's actually testing us with this. Like, is He going to pray for them? Is He going to keep His faith from this and things like that? And I think that I passed those tests.
Yeah. I mean, how long did it go on for with you, Matt?
Well, the first weird thing that happened was the DARPA thing that happened in 2013.
2013? Mm-hmm. And then they stopped a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe they stopped 10 years after they started? Is it possible?
Let's see.
Maybe it's
a couple years ago. Yeah, that seems about right.
Okay. I wonder if they do different bouts of attack for certain periods of time. I don't know.
Another thing that was happening was every time I got to the point where I was just like depressed being there because it wasn't really helping me. It was making me more depressed. I'd go to the ER and I'd hold my breath and I just test to see how much I could hold my breath for until I actually flatlined, and I'd flatline and still be able to live without having any disruptions to my heart. And I did this several times, and all the nurses and the doctors were like running around, like laughing, and sometimes they'd cry, sometimes they'd just freak out and say, well, how is he doing this? And then this one time, a reporter lady came in and she said, we got to get this in the newspaper. The doctor said, go away. And I was like, and then the last time it happened was this year when I was in the ER. I didn't hold my breath, but I just stopped breathing for an hour and a half. And I knew I could do it for longer, but I decided to continue breathing. I'm not sure how I did it.
That's interesting. Wow. How did you, what motivated you to stop breathing? What's the...
Well, the first time I was just doing it because I was depressed, and I felt like I don't know, it gave me some kind of like power over them that I could do that, because I felt like they were controlling me. Like they wanted me in there. They needed me for some reason. And I don't know. That's what I did.
And in your opinion, Matt, why do you think they were doing this to you?
Experimentation. I think they were using voice to skull technology because I would have these terrible bouts of like audio messages in my head and saying these evil things. And also I believe that certain medications are literally infused with demons. So I was constantly battling with demons and holy water and those styrofoam cups inside the psych ward and stuff. It was very disturbing. It was very bad timing. I mean, bad times that I experienced. But it's over with, and I'm just so glad I'm done with all that.
Praise the Lord. Well, let's just pray that we can all learn something from your victory over this.
Yeah, the biggest thing is to keep your faith and know that it'll pass if you're strong enough. You just got to be strong. It's a battle. We're battling these demons and these forces of the government that don't want our good things to happen to us. They want bad things to happen to us. I'm not saying every government official does this, but they're out there.
Yeah, it's 10 years must have been horrendous.
Yeah, and they did like spy on me and my computer, like the cops, like because my parents had decided to beat the crap out of me and then called the cops on me, and then I went to jail for 3 days, and then they were spying on my computer with my Bluetooth device, and I recorded them, but it was like really, really low volume, so I couldn't like do anything about it.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like you're quite smart, Matt.
Actually, it was an accident. I plugged in the headphones. I thought I didn't know what I was doing. I plugged in the headphones, and I was actually trying to record my parents because I wanted to find out what they were talking about me. But I plugged in the headphones, and I heard inside the headphones some other kind of audio, and it had to have been the police that were spying on me. I was spying on them.
Wow. And to verify this interview is with a real person, what's your username on TikTok, please?
Laser test.
Laser test, okay. And you live in the United States, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Have you got family, like children and wife?
I have a daughter, and an ex, and the ex recently took me to court so she could have a protection order against her family and her, not against Lexi. So, because I was freaking out, and it was my fault. This reason why, because I called the cops on her saying that she did bring Lexi to me because I didn't see Lexi for 6 weeks because my parents were in Alaska, but she wasn't do anything wrong except for she could have let me see her, but she wasn't like breaking the law, but I called the cops on her.
Okay. Right. Oh. How old is Lexi then?
She's 10.
Oh. That's a very good age. She's going to be going into the teenagers age soon, and she's going to be.
I'm kind of dreading that.
But I think it's happening earlier and earlier, isn't it?
It is.
She's starting to talk about boys and things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Praise the Lord. Well, it must be incredibly hard because she's 10 and you've been going through this for 10 years. Well, 7 years of her life.
It was, she was born in 2015. It started happening in 2013, so yeah.
Yeah, so she missed out on 3 years of it. She's had 7 years of it, approximately. And how does she feel about her dad being a targeted individual? Does she understand any of that?
She doesn't understand any of that. I don't bring it up to her.
Okay. And do you notice any strange oddments in your daughter's life? Targeting?
Not really. I think they leave her alone. I don't think that they're attacking her in any way. I don't see her most of the time, actually. She's over at her mom's for a week at a time, and then on the weekend she sees me.
Yeah. Well, I would, if it's all right to mention, I would start asking her questions about how her relationships are with her friends and her school, and, because I realized that this has actually been going on for me all my life. And it runs in the family, I think.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on your daughter. You could probably give her some sort of teamwork support, if you like, but without mentioning what it is for, like how to handle situations, so that she's a little bit prepped, because
I think the biggest thing I would like to teach her is how to be strong in general, because there's life is hard, and if they are going to go after her in the ways that they went after me or any other way, she needs to have a firm foundation in the Lord, because God's going to get you through it as long as your faith is strong. And even if it's not, it's not to hurt you, it's to break you and to break you, to strengthen you up. It's just what God does.
Yes, and I mean, obviously, your daughter and you talk about God. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She prays. I think she prays more than I do.
Oh wow, that's beautiful. And have you got a good church that you're part of, or are you on your own?
I'm gonna sign up to this one church I'm interested in near me, that this runner app place, this transit center can drive me over there, and I can check them out and see what they're about.
Wow, okay. And your daughter, is she part of a church now?
No.
No, okay. So then, because your Savior, our Lord, has come to your rescue, then you're going to have to become her teacher, kind of thing.
Yeah. It's very hard to teach someone that's brand new to anything that, the things we've been discussing. It's a very sensitive topic to talk about to a child, but I still want to impress on her about it without sounding crazy enough to have her mom be involved, and say, hey, don't talk about that, but still have the freedom to talk as a father would to a child.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to have a healthy balance without seeming crazy with everything else that's happened.
Yeah, and I can just, cover it up with something else, make it seem not so spooky or crazy to Lexi, so she doesn't go and tell someone, because she has a tendency of telling people what I talk about with her.
Oh, okay. Yes, then you do need to be quite mindful about how you approach things. Well, I can recommend that there's some wonderful movies, absolutely amazing Bible movies all over, free on YouTube.
Awesome.
And the Bible series, my daughter really adored that. And that's 8 1-hour episodes. Very, very amazing. And it's like high quality movies,
Awesome. That's really great.
I can't believe the standards of the movies for the TV on for Bible stories. They've really improved. And even some of the old ones are really good. But Esther, your daughter would love Esther, the movie, because it's like a princess fairy tale. And it's Queen Esther.
Can you send those to me?
Yeah, I'll send her some links.
I'd love to, share with her so she can, watch them on her free time. She'll get done with school and she can pop one of those in and watch it.
Yeah, and there's so many. There's also the story of Samson. The stories of Samson with all these powers, and it's just.
His hair was long. That's what I kind of grew my hair out, and there's certain kind of oils that I'm aware of. This Barbara O'Neill, naturopath doctor online. She talks about certain kind of oils to help your hair with certain things, including growing your hair out. But hair is your antenna, and the longer you have, the more spiritual, resonant energy you can use.
Well, yes, I have a recipe actually you might like to help your hair grow and to maintain its condition.
That'd be great.
So what I do is I make cooking oil mixed in with rosemary oil, essential oil.
Okay.
Then I also put sometimes rice water, leftover rice water from cooking rice.
Okay.
And then a little bit of orange peel. And then you have the flakes from the rosemary as well. Put it all together and use that as a a spray or you can put it as a balm on your hands and rub it through your hair, but also after conditioning, putting it on. And I use it as a hand lotion. And it's after washing hands in the sink because it replenishes the skin. It's a regrowth product.
Oh, okay.
Rosemary. So that's really good. Your daughter probably want to know about that. It'll make her hair grow real fast.
Awesome.
Yeah. And coconut, very good. And just wash your hair. When you wash your hair, give it a right old massage on the head, and your hair will grow real quick.
Okay.
It stimulates the hair follicles, but it also really helps the circulation around the head, and it does need oxygen. It's amazing, actually, what our skin absorbs. If you really want medicine, you can just put it on the skin. It's actually better than pills. It's very amazing, actually.
Interesting. Yeah, I was wondering about a recipe for that. So thank you.
Yeah, it's interesting because you will really like this for skin. A bit of coconut and bicarbonate of soda. So that's baking soda, right? Equal measures. So you buy 1 tub of baking soda, 1 tub of the coconut oil normally comes in a jar, and you mix the two together and cook it on the hob so that it all melts. Then pour it into back into the jar it came in with the coconut oil, and that is an amazing face mask. It makes the skin really soft, and also you can use it on your hair. It's brilliant. Great. Great for pimples, and great for young girls, for your daughter. It'd be very good. She'll love it. For taking off makeup. With the hot flannel. It's very good. Praise the Lord. So, yeah, it's a strange situation with the gang stalking. How many targeted individuals do you know?
Well, I'm not friends with that one person that I used to know, but or the other person. Not because the one person was offended by me. The other one just kind of stopped talking to me. We stopped talking. So I don't know anybody really in real life.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. It is. How many targeted individuals have you met, though, altogether?
Probably about 7.
Okay.
And we've had long discussions about it, and they talk about what I'm not used to, but I can relate to, which is the voice to skull thing. And that is just insane. Like, you hear voices, like, you feel like it's right next to you, these voices, and they'll convince you that someone's going to kill you or something. It's ridiculously scary.
Okay. That's very interesting, actually. Did you have the voice to skull?
I believe so.
And can you please describe it for the audience?
Well, it seemed like every audio device was like amplified, and you'd hear the frequency of like a TV going off, and you'd hear someone talking in your head connected to the frequency of the TV. And I thought that the TV was talking to me, so I was like going really bonkers, and I didn't really understand what was going on. And I thought that the staff members in my group home were after me, and they were, just totally ganging up on me. And it only lasted for about a few months.
And then what happened?
Well, it just stopped. But
that was
they
after
did
the
other
hospital,
crazy things in the hospitals to me.
So after that was the hospital after that?
I don't know which one was first. I think that, I believe it was the hospital first before I started having the voice to skull thing. I think it was connected to the DARPA technology, which kind of scares me. Like, I wonder, do I still have that technology in my body right now? Or did some of those, like the chlorine dioxide that I used, and the ASEA redox molecules that I used, shed that out? And do I have this technology from the PCR test that everybody got? When they got the PCR tests, you get these nanobots and stuff. So I've had just nightmare after nightmare of just, being injected with things, and fears that I have these nanobots growing in my system. And everyone that's getting these vaccines are just running around with nanotechnology. That's the scariest thing to me.
Yeah, it is. It's very frightening when you realize with the one flick of a switch and all of these people will literally explode.
Yeah, I think I have that technology in my body right now, and the scary thing is that I know how to detox from it, but I can't, because I'm on certain medications that will eat away the medication, and then I'll go crazy without the medication.
What do you mean you'll go crazy without the medication?
Well, I have a deficiency in lithium, so I have to keep taking lithium.
Lithium? What's that about? Can you explain that?
Well, it's a medication that is also a salt, a type of salt. It's also a metal. It some people are deficient in iron. Some people are deficient in this or that. But I'm deficient in lithium, so I have to get supplemented through medication.
Oh, I wonder if that might be the remedy for targeted individuals.
I don't know.
Lithium. What was the other two products that you mentioned? That you took?
I don't think I mentioned them. I was talking about different people with different deficiencies. Like, some people have a deficiency in iron and copper or whatever, but I have a deficiency in lithium, so I have to take that as a supplement.
And
that's all. I take that, and I take trazodone for sleep. But
oh, okay. What's that called? Sorry.
Trazodone.
Oh yes, I've heard of that. Yeah.
It's an opioid, and I want to get off of it. And I think I found a way to get off of the opioid, is to get a CPAP machine, because I snore at night, and it interferes with my sleep. So I take the trazodone so I can sleep at night. But if I use the CPAP machine in the future, I believe I can get off of it.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Okay.
Do you have dreams?
Yes, I had the longest dream that I had in years last night.
Wow.
And I walked up to a giant tree covered with leaves, from the bottom of the tree to the top of the tree filled with leaves. And I put my hands on the tree for about 2 minutes, and I breathed in and I breathed out, and I felt the resonance of the energy coming through that tree. And then when I fell asleep last night, I had the longest detailed dream that I've had in years. So I did the same thing today. I took my socks and my shoes off, and I walked on the grass. I walked up to that tree, and I put my hands on it, and I hope that I have another dream like that. It was very cool.
Oh, the first dream that you had, was it after taking your feet, shoes and socks off, and then touching a tree?
I think that was the reason why I had such a long, extensive, detailed dream, is because I was connecting the antenna of my body to the antennas of the earth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think everybody should do that. Get out in nature. It's not just to get out in nature, but to touch your feet, your actual feet, and your hands. Touch the ground, touch the grass, touch the sticks, touch the stones, touch the water. The water is very powerful when it has a current to it. They call it current for a reason, because it's a current of energy flowing through that stream, or from that river, or from that lake, or from that ocean. And that sand and those organisms, you got to get yourself wrapped around that stuff. It's very powerful.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Very amazing. Do you live near the sea at all?
Not really. I live around a lot of wooded areas with creeks and stuff like that. Lots of beautiful trees. In Washington, it rains a lot in the winter time, and then it's all dry in the summertime.
Okay. Right. Wow. And also, may I ask, how did you discover that you were lithium deficient?
They did some tests, the blood tests.
Oh, the doctors did.
Yeah.
Was that because of your instigation, or was that just through their own?
Just regular medical checkups. They test your blood for deficiencies and things like that. I have actually pretty good for medication-wise. A lot of people with my conditions have several different medications and psychosis medications, and for me, having just lithium and resveratrol and trazodone is a gift because it's so simple and not the doses are small.
Okay. And lithium is something that you can only get on a prescription, is it?
Right. Well, actually, there's a different type of lithium that you can take that's natural, but for my deficiency, I have such an extreme deficiency that I need like hundreds of milligrams of lithium per day.
Wow, that's amazing.
And they test me every, few months to test to see if my lithium is on par for that or not. So I'm glad that I'm in a place. I'm in a step down from the hospital in my own room. Usually someone has a roommate, but I don't have a roommate right now. But they give you meds and they give you they cook for you and they take you out on outings, and it's just really safe environment, a very, very friendly staff, and I have this interview coming up in a couple days to the Olive Garden as a dishwasher, so I'm really excited about that.
Oh, wow. That's great. Fantastic. I pray in Jesus' name you get that.
Thank you.
May God give you everything you desire.
Yeah, and I've noticed that even if something doesn't happen the way you think it will be, like if I don't get this job, it's not the end of the world. I still have my life. I have my family. I have this center that I'm living in, and I'm not going to let that destroy me just because that doesn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, at the end of the day, I was saying to God earlier and to the cat, I said, we started singing, looking forward to our happy days again. Celebrating,
Okay.
Actually, because they're going to come. Yeah. It's only a matter of time. So, got to be positive, haven't you, Even though it is quite grinding, the whole process of full-time stalking.
Yeah. Well, every time I think that, something really bad's happened to me, like this whole scenario with my ex and the court and this hospitalization that I went through for 30 days and going to here instead of home, I just have to compare it to like other parts of the world that are people that are experiencing way worse things than I do, that I have to stop complaining,
Yeah. Well, I commend you for your strength and your faith. It's very good. It's wonderful to talk to someone with so much faith and strength and power in his confidence with the Lord.
Absolutely.
And the churches I found haven't really got an understanding of the targeting and don't offer support. So it's very hard for the targeted individuals, I think. But I want to come back to the lithium. When you first went to the hospital 3 years ago, was that when you were diagnosed with a lithium deficiency?
No, it was like many, many years ago. I think it was like 12 years ago when they discovered it.
12 years?
Yep.
And you've been on the medication since then?
It's been the best medication for me. Like, they've tried so many different medications for me, and they've all been wrong, especially the antipsychotics, because I'm not a psychotic person. I'm really, it really just has to do with the deficiency in the lithium. And once they discovered that, I started getting a lot better. And it wasn't. I was having more psychosis when I was on this antipsychosis meds and being stuffed in a hospital where they would do unruly things to me, or just. I'm so glad that I'm have a simplified medication and they're not stalking me anymore.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So lithium wasn't that long ago that you started taking it, because you've taken other medications between now and then.
No, I didn't stop taking it.
So you've always taken lithium?
For quite a while now, yeah. But I've been on medication since I was 16 years old. I'm 43 now.
Lithium?
No, I haven't been. Lithium, like I said, was like 12 years ago.
Okay. And have you ever suffered from the ringing in your ears?
I never really had that problem.
Okay. Because I remember we spoke on one of my live shows on TikTok, and you said that you had the voice to skull, but you didn't have the pains and this kind of thing. Is that right?
I didn't have ringing in my ears. I heard actual voices, and they seemed like they were right in front of me, like I was talking to someone. And they'd get in my head, and they'd just... it was either the voice to skull thing that freaked me out the most, or the demons. And these were real demons that would like snarl and drip and like scream in my head.
Wow.
And it would seem like they were right next to me, like they're literally spirits that were created or duplicated through these medications. They literally, I saw this one documentary where this doctor was talking about how these like evil other doctors were like literally chanting and praying, putting witchcraft into the medications as they're being created in the lab to be given to these patients. And these people would have demons inside of them, so they would like act out on them and say like, I'm an evil person and I'm going to hurt you and I hate you and rah, rah, just noises. And I know exactly what they've gone through because they've done that to me.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And it was so terrible, like just crying and
oh gosh, that's frightening.
And just begging someone to realize that I'm not crazy. I'm just I'm being attacked. I'm being attacked right now.
You're not crazy. Demons are real, and they're damn frightening as well. Especially if you're not in control of your own faculties and you're on medication. That must have been incredibly frightening.
So many scary days, such scary nights, staying up all night, in the psych ward, just begging God to let it stop.
Oh, shame. Oh, that sounds a bit like me.
Yeah, I've heard your stories a lot that you've, we can definitely relate.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important because it's my testimony.
Right.
And it's
and that's I think there's meaning to these stories and these memories, because here we are talking about them in a way that can empower someone if they go through this the same way.
Absolutely. I mean, there is life after gang stalking, but it's a terrible journey between the now and then if you're in the process.
Yeah, and it's not just humans stalking you; it's little creatures from hell stalking you and screaming at you and snarling and like cornering you in your room, and you're just, this one time I just decided to get a styrofoam cup and pour water in it and pray on it and just say, God, make this holy water to get them out of here.
Oh, and did it work? I bet it did.
It did.
Yeah. I make holy water, and that's very powerful, and holy oil as well. And you can heal yourself also by making living water and drinking it. So
and praying on it.
Yeah, so you could start doing that for yourself,
It's all about the resonance of your voice and your calling to God, because water it holds memory, and it if you take like a chunk of rice and you put it in a bottle, right, and you close the lid, and then you take a chunk of rice, put it in a different bottle, and you pray to it, or not pray to it, but like say good things or pray to God while you're looking at it. That rice will be in better condition later on than the other bottle. And the other bottle, you could say like hateful words or whatever, and it'll like degrade itself over time.
Interesting. That demonstrates the power of words, and that we are made in God's image. So if we're not careful, we can create havoc for ourselves.
That's another reason why music is so powerful. People don't understand. They think they're having a good time when they're listening to this music, that they're not being affected somehow because it's just words or it's just a sound that they're listening to. But I've actually argued for that. I'm like, it doesn't matter what you listen to. It doesn't matter what you watch. But that is totally not the truth when it comes to seeing something and hearing something and speaking something. It's very powerful, and it means a lot.
Very true. Very true. It's funny because I had yesterday, before my TV broke, I went to put on Bible or prayers, and I must have pressed the wrong button, and this really soothing music came on, which I think was a resonance type music. And and it just repeated in a circle, going round and round. And I thought, well, that's actually just really soothing. I'll leave that on. And it was wonderful. So I found as well, I put the radio on because I like a bit of something going in the house. But these guys do everything through radio signals, and then they home in on the signal. So I found that it's all, sometimes it's good to have radios on, sometimes it's not. But I've also found that if you're not careful with the radio station you pick, there can be all sorts of really horrible heavy metal type music.
Right. And what's crazy? Rock on to the heavy metal sometimes. Hear me out though with this, because your intention, your feeling, your intent to what you're listening to makes a huge difference. If you're listening to that heavy metal music with the intent to feel hate on purpose and to roll with the music to the point where it's becoming part of you, that's a completely different story. Like a rock song, you can listen to the rock song, you can listen to the rap song, but if your intent is to be the rapper that's talking about these stories that's being portrayed in the song, that's a completely different story than just bumping to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your intent is really the most important thing for words, for writing, for hearing, for sounds, for prayers. Anything that you put out, the biggest factor in this is your intent.
Yeah, and belief.
Yeah. If your intention is to be the negative situation, like just to wrap yourself into it to where you're becoming what the words are saying, that's different than just hearing it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yes, absolutely. So I talk about the words and how they connect, and they actually verify the truth as well. So if they verify the truth, then they can manifest the truth too. But they can also manifest whatever you want. Did you hear about the 9/11 George Bush visit to the kindergarten? And
yes, definitely. The hit steel plane.
Yeah, and they repeated and chanted these words about crash, and
that's a spell, definitely.
They basically chanted a spell without realizing, and so the words that they used had been pre-prepared earlier in readiness for it. It's quite amazing because don't you think it's interesting that all of the sort of devil worshipper type people, they really know all about that and the power of words, don't they? But the people who follow God, they just don't really understand that as much, do they?
Yeah, they're targeted from all that because they know that. See, they know that they can target them and they can chant and all that, but overall they know that the power of God and the power of faith is so much stronger. I think in this life in this physical world, they have much more power over people that they can activate something that pulls you into the darker spiritual places. But as far as the nature of a spiritual person, that is 100% the most powerful thing, and they know that they can't stand the power of God.
No, absolutely, they can't. But I mean, as I say, I'm a preacher for God. And I found that the battle that I'm up against is so full-time. I can pray against it, but it's back again, regularly, all the time. It's just...
Yeah, and they attack the most powerful people like you and me. They know they can't win over us, but they can get what they can get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I do something, I give it everything. And so the same with depression, unfortunately. It's all or nothing. You know what I mean? I don't do in the middle. So I go up and down. I think I'm ADHD or all that kind of thing. I certainly was as a child. I go up and down with energy and up and down with emotions, and it's a yo-yo all the time.
Do you want to hear what my dream was about last night?
Yeah, I'd love to know.
So I was in Kenai, Alaska, where I used to live, and I went to my church that I used to go to that's no longer the same church anymore. And we went on this trip with all different members of people that were there, and we went on this trail in the woods, and we were walking together, and all of a sudden it was just me and this young man standing on the top of this cliff that had sand on it, and the sand was like overpouring off of the cliff, and he was walking ahead of me, and I tripped and I slid off the cliff, and I was holding on to this ledge, and then I slipped off another ledge and landed onto another ledge, and I was holding on to it, and I was asking him, "Is the cliff soft down there?" Aww. And he didn't answer. And then I had my phone and my vape with me for some reason, and I was like inching my way to the left part of the column of the cliff until the cliff became all of a sudden I was on this furniture inside this living room, and I was a miniature person on this table, like coffee table, and I was inching my way off, and then I finally got myself on the ground, and I walked away, and I felt like I was safe. And I think the meaning of that dream has to do with this hill that I have to climb every day to go to work, and there's like these cliffs and everything, and the fact that I felt safe at the end means that I'll have a good interview, and that I don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah. All right. What's the interview for? What's the position?
Dishwasher.
Okay. Yes, you'll get the job. Yeah, you will. You won't feel like you're getting the job, though. That's why you fell off the cliff.
Okay.
So don't fall off the cliff when you're there, and just be very confident. And,
Yep.
and even if you aren't sure you've got it, just be confident that you've got it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that you might get to the interview and there might be people who have been before for an interview just before you, and then you might be swayed to believe that you haven't got the position because of the person not answering at the bottom of the cliff.
Uh-huh.
That's what I think that means.
Yeah.
But the sand, even though it feels like it's sandy, like you're going to fall off the cliff, God's showing you that there's a stable coffee table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not unstable. So you must just remember that you have got the job. Go in, act like you've got the job, do the interview, and be confident, and don't be swayed.
And I noticed that I was normal size before on the cliff, but then when I got into the living room, it became miniature. That might be because I feel humble for being a new employee.
Yeah, what that depicts is like, so the people that are going to hire you are like giants and frightening, okay? Because they're your employer. And you're on a coffee table and you're miniature and they're really big and very important. But then you land on the floor, so you have stable, solid ground. You're not just on a coffee table. And that was while you're visiting them. You feel really small, and then you wander off and everything's great afterwards. So that's what I think. And the coffee table definitely symbolizes the restaurant. I saw a round coffee table.
It was square.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, you just need to remember that it's God's coffee table.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's God's cliff as well. So God's in control. And before you go for the interview, just talk to God before you go and maybe read some Bible verses.
I think my confidence will give me the job because, I know exactly what I'm going to say. I have got it rehearsed, and I'm really confident about my performance there already.
Yeah. So, and when's the interview? Oh, don't say anything. Oh, we've lost him. Let me just see if I can get hold of him again.
Hey, I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. All right. So shall I call you back in 5?
Yeah.
Okay.